Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. I am so excited, you have no idea. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you might not know what this video is really about, but I will tell you. So pretty much what I did is I posted a bunch of polls on my Instagram stories, and it was all different categories of makeup, like what a full face would take, and I had 2 products listed, and then you could vote on which one you wanted me to use. So it's kind of like an interactive video. You guys have picked all of the makeup that I'm going to be using in today's video. So the categories that I had were eyeshadow, primer, foundation, concealer, setting powder, bronzer, blush, highlight, setting spray, brow pencil, mascara, and lipstick. So I have the full face, and you guys voted on everything. As we go through the tutorial, I'll let you know what the other option was and what won and by how many votes each thing won. So it'll be really fun. I don't even know if any of these products are really gonna go together and create a nice look, but we're gonna try to make it work. Everything's pretty neutral and natural, so that's good. So it'll at least be like a cute look, you know? But yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm so excited. So the first product that we're gonna start with, we're actually gonna start with eyes today, just because I don't really know what I wanna do yet. I like to start with my eyes sometimes. So there were 2 eyeshadow palettes that I had put in the polls. They were both from Mcgrath. I thought it'd be fun to like pick one Mcgrath palette. So the 2 palette options were the Mcgrath Mthrshp Sublime Bronze Ambition palette and the Mthrshp Sublime Bronze Temptation. So these are the 2 palettes, and this one was the winner. So this one had 37 votes and this one had 22 votes. So the red one won, and we are gonna create a look using just this palette. So I'm gonna prime my lids with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, just because that's really the only primer I use. So I figured I didn't need to like do a poll on that since that's the only one I use, but I'm gonna prime my lids with that, and then we're gonna get right into this palette. I was feeling a little bit washed out, so I just turned down the ring light a little bit, just in case you were wondering why that just changed. I knew in choosing the Mcgrath palettes that it would be a little bit of a challenge, just because each one of these palettes only has 6 shades in it. So it's gonna be a little bit hard to create a full eye look, but I kind of wanted to give myself that challenge. We're gonna create something kind of fun. I kind of want to recreate a look that I did, but I had shown it in a vlog, and I think some people liked it, so we might do that. I am just going to set my eye primer with some of the face powder that we're gonna be using. But I just want to have a nice smooth surface to work on. And Mcgrath palettes have lovely large mirrors, which is so important to me. So that's awesome. So we're just gonna go right into this palette. I don't know the names of the colors. I'm pretty sure there was an insert that came with the palette that has since, you know, disappeared. But we're gonna go right into this color here. It's like a warm, very warm brown. And on my Smith 232 brush, we're gonna work this into the crease. The next shade we're going to use is the darker brown in the palette right here. And I'm taking that on my Smith 247, which is a little bit of a smaller, fluffy brush. So on the end of that, we're gonna work this more into the outer corner and a little bit closer to the lash line. And to blend that out, we're going back in with the fluffy brush in the warm brown shade and just buffing out all the colors. So just to kind of explain what I'm doing in this step, I'm using the brush and I'm just kind of going back and forth on the outer corner and lash line, and then using whatever's left over and bringing it up further and into the crease of it. So I want the most color to be on the outer corner lash line area, and then I want it to diffuse up into the crease. On the Smith 232 brush, I kind of want to take this color here. This is one of my favorite colors in the palette because it looks purple, but then when it's tilted, it looks bronze. It has a really cool duochrome. It's just so cool. Look at that. It's like purple, but then it's bronze. So we're gonna put that all over our lids because it's so beautiful. This color is so insanely pigmented. I didn't even need to wet my brush. I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit more. I just want you to see how sick this color is. Like, Do you see that duochrome? I don't know. My eyes are obviously looking down, so I can't see what's in the camera, but so cool. Just taking a little bit of the darker shade on that Smith 247 and just laying it over the metallic shade just so that they get a really nice blend. And then I'm just going to take this brush from Morphe. It's the E11. Just a pretty big like angled brush. And I'm going to go into the darker shade that we've been using. I'm just going to build up that outer corner area. Just deepening it with this brush. This brush will help it to, because it's denser, it'll kind of help it to be a little bit darker, if that makes sense, instead of blending it out. Just doing my little usual wing shape. Just using a makeup wipe to clean up under my eyes and kind of sharpen that line a bit. We're gonna do the lower lash line after we do our whole face and everything, so we're not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna zoom you back out so we can do our face. For face primer, there were two options, of course. There was the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer and the Becca Backlight Primer. And Becca won by a long shot. The Becca Backlight Primer had 42 votes and the Smashbox Primerizer had 20. The Becca Backlight Primer is what we're gonna be using today because that was the big winner. So let's put that all over our face. I just brightened up the room. I don't know, I'm so indecisive with this lighting, you guys. Anyways, the Becca Backlight Primer is actually one of my favorite primers. I use it on pretty much all of my bridal photo shoot clients. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So we're gonna do about a pump of that. So I'm just gonna apply this on my entire face. It's a very beautiful, like, glowy primer. Oh, it's so nice on the skin. And it smells so good too. Love that primer so much. For foundation, the two options were the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation and the Wander Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. And L'Oreal won, actually. L'Oreal had 32 votes and Wander Beauty had 25, so this one, again, won by a long shot. I might have to mix in a little bit of my IT Cosmetics CC cream just because I do have a little bit of a tan right now. It's kind of fading, but we'll see. I'm gonna match it to my neck, so whatever color we come up with, it's gonna probably be mostly the L'Oreal Pro Glow, just so you know. But I'm just gonna do a pump, a tiny little pump of the IT Cosmetics CC cream on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna do a little bit more of the L'Oreal Pro Glow right on top of that. And I'm just gonna mix it together on the back of my hand. This is one of my favorite foundations of all time. I used it pretty much all summer, actually, because it's so glowy and just so natural, and I feel like it looks better throughout the day too. Like, it gets so glowy and so, oh, so pretty. I'm just gonna blend this in with my IT Cosmetics foundation brush. Now on to concealer. The two options for concealer in the polls were the Cover FX Power Play Concealer and the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer from Too Faced. And I bet you guys can guess which one won because it's so popular right now. Too Faced. Yep, Too Faced won. So the Too Faced Multi-Use had 36 votes and the Cover FX Power Play had 25. So that was actually a pretty close win. There are some closer ones actually, but this one was pretty close compared to all the other products that we've used so far. I really love this concealer, so I'm really happy that it won because it looks so pretty under the eyes. We're just gonna apply that right under the eyes. I'm using the shade Porcelain, which is actually a good shade from when I do have a tan. It's a little bit darker. So I'm super weird, and on a daily basis, I don't really use a concealer brush. Don't know why, but I think it's because I'm so lazy. I just go in with my foundation brush to blend out my concealer. I feel like it's nice too because it gives the same texture as the foundation rather than using like a sponge under your eyes but a brush on the rest of your face. It is kind of hard to get into those little corners, but I make it work. Now that we are all concealed and foundationed, we need to go in and set our face. The two options for setting powder were the Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, this is the holiday packaging, and the RCMA No Color Powder. So this one was another like clear winner. Definitely not a close call at all. The Mercier Loose Setting Powder won by 23 votes. So it had 43, the RCMA powder had 20 votes. People love the Mercier powder, and this just goes to show it for sure. We're just gonna do the usual, taking my Morphe E48 brush and setting this under my eyes first. And the Too Faced Born This Way concealer and this powder actually do look really nice together. And then I just like to get a bunch of powder on my big fluffy brush and just quickly set my whole face. You don't need anything crazy on the entire face. It's really just so that when we go to put our bronzer and blush on, those blend out seamlessly. So just a little bit of powder on the face just so it's not sticky anymore. So the next product that I posted in the poll was bronzer, and the two options were the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and the Tarte Parka Princess Bronzer. It looks like this, and it's obviously a favorite of mine, but Physicians Formula actually won. And this one was a really close call. Like, it was actually tied for a while, and then right at the last minute, Physicians Formula won. So this one had 33 votes, and the Tarte one had 30 votes. I'm just gonna take some of the bronzer on my Morphe R2 brush, and we're gonna bronze our skin. I like this bronzer because it's not like super warm, or it doesn't have like any glitter in it at all, so you can use it to contour a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of nose contouring, just a little, using this Morphe M572. We are now onto blush, and this was kind of one of the categories that I was most excited about because I had two newer products to post, and they were both drugstore, so very exciting. The two options were Flower Beauty Flower Pots Powder Blush in the shade Peach Primrose. Why can I not speak right now? Peach Primrose, and the Essence Satin Touch Blush in the shade Satin Love. So these are the two options, and Flower Beauty won by a long shot. Oh my god. This one had 43 votes and the Essence one had 17. So people definitely wanted to see Flower Beauty for some reason. I don't know if it had to do with the color or the brand, I'm not too sure, but this one was definitely the winner. So we're gonna take that on my Morphe M500. This is a very pigmented blush. You really only need a little bit on your brush, but it's so pretty. And I actually think it goes really well with this eye because it is so warm. Such a good drugstore blush. I did buy another color as well, but it was a little bit more sheer and like had a lot of shimmer in it. So I'm not super crazy about that one because it doesn't give a lot of like actual blush. It's more of like a blush topper. Still really pretty, but this one has been a favorite of mine. It's just so gorgeous. Such a true peach. Moving right on to highlight. We had two options. One was actually drugstore and one was high-end, so it was interesting to see which one won here. But we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Precious Petals and the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Champagne Pop, which is a cult favorite for sure, which is why it won. So Champagne Pop had 39 votes and the Wet n Wild Highlight had 28. We're gonna go in with the Champagne Pop, which is one of my all-time favorite highlights. I'm actually using an Eco Tools brush. This is the Precision Highlight. I have been loving this brush for highlight lately. So soft and beautiful. So pretty. So glad you guys chose this one. I'm also going to use this highlight to highlight my inner corners and my brow bone. It pairs perfectly with this eyeshadow look. And now that our face is done, we have all of our powders on, we are going to use a setting spray. The two that I included in the polls were the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist and the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. These are two of my all-time favorite setting sprays, so I definitely wanted to include these in the polls, and Morphe won. Morphe had 37 votes and MAC Fix Plus had 29, so that was a pretty tight race. I am glad that this won because I love this setting spray. It's what I've been using pretty much every day, so pretty happy about that, you guys. Did I just use too much? No, right? I love how Champagne Pop looks after you spray the setting spray. It just kind of like sinks into the skin and just, oh, so pretty. It like melts right into the makeup. And now I'm a glowing goddess. Okay, I need to desperately do my brows because I'm looking a little cray. The two brow pencils that I included in the polls were the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Brunette and the Kat Von D Signature Brow Pencil in dark brown, and NYX one. NYX had 40 votes and Kat Von D had 25. So that was like, NYX was a big winner there. And this is actually my everyday brow pencil right now, so pretty happy that that won because, you know, I'm used to it. I like it. Oh my god, this coffee has been sitting here since I started filming and I barely even took a sip. So I'm gonna do my brows. I'll speed through this because it's pretty boring. I only have one brow gel, and that's the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, so that's the one we're going to use. I didn't include any brow gels in the polls because I only have one option. I have to finish my lower lash line because the next product is mascara. So we're going to do the lower lash line with the Pat McGrath palette. First, I'm just going to take this pencil brush from, oh my god, this is from Sigma. This is like the oldest brush in my collection, but it works. We're going to go in with the darker shade in the Pat McGrath palette and just run this along the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take this brush from the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill collection. It's the JH33 with the lighter, warmer brown. Just a little bit of product on the brush. Tap that off a lot. And I'm going to run this along the lower lash line as well to blend that darker color out. Let's finish up the eyes with some mascara. The two options were the L'Oreal Lash Paradise and the Hourglass Caution Mascara, and L'Oreal won again. L'Oreal is just killing it today. So L'Oreal ended with 65% of the votes. They had 43 and Hourglass had 23. So L'Oreal won by a long shot in this round. Let's go ahead and apply this. I'm a little nervous that it might be a little bit dried out because this one's a little bit older, but we're gonna make it work, right? That's what we do on this channel. We just make it work. Like Project Runway. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, cool. I forgot how nice this mascara was. I've been using the Hourglass Caution Mascara consistently for probably a month now and haven't really used anything else. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are unfortunately on to the last category. I'm kind of sad that this video is going to be over because it was so fun. Like, I really love like incorporating you guys into these videos because they're for you. So I feel like this was a really cool way of getting your input, seeing what you actually want to see me use. So I'm very excited and I'm really sad that we're on to the last category, but let's just do it. We are on to lipsticks now. This was probably the closest call. No, it was definitely the closest call out of all the categories. So on Instagram, the polls stay up for 24 hours. And at hour like 22, this was still at 50-50. So it was really close. The winner actually only won by 1 vote. So that's just crazy to me. I don't know why it was such like a close call. I really don't. But the two options were the MAC Retro Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Burnt Spice, which is a gorgeous nude, and then the Kylie Cosmetics Velvet Liquid Lipstick in the shade Savage, which is one of my favorites as well. So I picked two that I know that I really love, and I picked 2 liquid lipsticks, so that was nice and similar. And can we guess which one won? Kylie. Kylie actually won. It was so close. At hour like 23 or even like 23 and a half, MAC was winning, and then all of a sudden a couple people voted and Kylie won. So that was actually really fun to watch, like the votes changing and the percentages changing. So this one had 51% and MAC had 49%, which that's just crazy. So let's apply this. I think this will actually go nice with this eye look because it is like a warmer shade. It's a little bit dark, but it'll balance out with the eye. I went a little crazy with the overlining today, but we're just gonna embrace it because I have no top lip anyways, so we need this. We need this overlining. All right, so this is the final look. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see. This was such a fun video. Like, I don't think I've had this much fun filming a tutorial in a little while, but I just really loved incorporating you guys into it and taking your guys' kind of recommendations. I know I obviously only had 2 options, but it was cool to see what you guys would rather see. So very exciting. I definitely want to do more of these in the future with other products. I'm totally gonna do so many of these because I think it was awesome. Some of the products I did maybe like too high-end, or I did too drugstore, but most of them I tried to do like 1 high-end and then 1 drugstore, just to see what you guys would rather see. The primers were both pretty much high-end. Drugstore 1 in the foundation category. Concealer I did too high-end as well, just because I don't really have any drugstore concealers to use, so I did both high-end for that. High-end 1 for setting powder. RCMA is not necessarily drugstore, but it's definitely affordable, more affordable than Laura Mercier for sure. But Laura Mercier still won. Drugstore 1 for bronzer with the Physicians Formula. I did 2 drugstore blushes, so that doesn't really count. High-end did win for highlight because I don't think anybody doesn't want to see champagne pop, so I think that's why that one won. Drugstore 1 for setting spray with Morphe. Drugstore for eyebrow pencil with NYX. Drugstore for mascara with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. And then I did 2 kind of high-end lipsticks, so that doesn't really count. But I think drugstore did pretty well. Eyeshadow I also did, obviously 2 of the same brand, so those were higher end. I really like this video, and I'm actually happy with how this look came out. This is something that I would wear, so A+ for that, guys. Thank you for not making me look crazy. Let me know down below if you are from Instagram and you're watching this video. Maybe let me know like why you chose what you chose in the polls, just because like obviously I can see which one won, but I want to know why. I don't know, I'm curious. I want to hear from you guys, so definitely leave some comments down below. Say hi if you're from Instagram. I need to know that, definitely, so make sure you give me a little wave or just say hi. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and I will see you in my next one.